Hi, and welcome back to Whitetail Acres Farm. Well, this has been a very busy week, full of the unexpected, which I suppose is typical for a farm. It helps build character and teach us patience and adaptability with plenty of problem solving at each turn. When running a farm, there's never a dull moment to cause an ounce of boredom, and we have learned this week with these two new guys that came to our farm. So last week we had visited another fellow farmer who was selling two of his Hereford cattle, and we have been trying to acquire more Herefords, so we were really excited and went to visit him, picked up these two guys and brought them back to our farm so that way they can call Whitetail Acres their home for a while and just integrate with the rest of our herd, which they, warmed up eventually. The one with the white face that you'll see in a moment, he was the one that took a little bit longer to adapt to being in a new environment. He complained quite a bit the first few days, was very loud and opinionated, but he did settle down and got a lot calmer, or so we thought. How did you guys get out here? Good thing we came out when we did. The first couple nights with these guys was a little rough. Again, it was more so the one with the white face. Of the two Herefords that we got, the one has all white face, the other one has a patch around his eye. So we'll call the white face one the complainer, and the other one with the patch around his eye, we have nicknamed him Patches. But anyway, Patches has been a little bit more timid and shy, which is okay. We expect that. But the complainer, he definitely did his share of complaining, and we had to really keep an eye on him because we never knew what to expect from him. And that held true for when we came out to check on them the one morning, and we saw they were both in the area of the outside of the livestock barn where the cattle should not be. And we couldn't figure out how they got out there and made it through the white rope until we came to the back of the barn and realized that they had actually knocked down our brand new charging unit that actually charges all of the electric fence. So none of the electric fences were hot, which is a huge problem because any one of them could have escaped. So thankfully, the two new guys made their way into an area that was still fenced in, so we were able to get them back to where they needed to be, and then we came over to the electric fence charging unit, and Ryan was able to get that all hooked back up again, test it to make sure that it was releasing a charge and that everything was okay. So we were able to fix the problem pretty quickly, but this could have turned into a disaster. I'm really glad it didn't. And while we were busy with this, the three Hereford calves came running in. They always do every time we're over here. They want to check out and see what's going on. They're like nosy little girls. It's so funny. So Ryan went back out over to the white ropes and made sure that they're now holding a charge, which they are. And so we are good to go now for these electric fences, and hopefully these new guys will stay where they're supposed to and will continue to settle down. They have made a huge improvement. I have to give them that. But we want to make sure that they're happy and content and that they stay where they're supposed to be. So after dealing with getting the two new cattle back with the rest of the herd, getting the fence all squared away, and checking on that, we realized their hay was running a little bit low. So maybe that's why the two new guys decided to try to break out because they were protesting. Who knows? But we decided to put out some more hay for them. Make sure that they're nice and content with plenty to eat, because when they have food, they tend to be the happiest. So we want to make sure that we got a nice new big bale of hay out in their hay ring, and see how they do the rest of the day now. We came back out later to check on them, and they were quiet as can be, all hanging around their hay ring, which is a beautiful sight because happy cattle means a lot less stress. And we went on to our next activity for the day, and that is to round up the last of our older hens. We still have 9 older hens that have stopped laying eggs. They are now a little over 2 years old. So it's time to bring them over to the auction and see if we can offload them to somebody else who can find use for them. Really, at this age, the best thing to do is to turn them into stew. They'll make great chicken broth. So that's usually what happens with chickens once they get of age like this. But we have a ton of fresh chicken and chicken carcasses still in our freezer from when we've butchered in the past. So we're good. We have what we need to make broth and all that good stuff when we need to. So we figured we will bless somebody else with these ladies, and hopefully somebody else can make some good use of them. And over at the auction here, it was pretty busy. They had a lot of different types of auctions going on. Inside, they were selling a lot of like household items. But the smaller barn here, they were selling some livestock. And so we got our girls all registered and split up into a few different crates here, and we were able to get them sold. So we were relieved that we did not have to worry about them any longer.
Do you have any other crates
And the rest of the week was looking pretty good. It was getting warmer, and the skies were looking a little bit brighter, and you can almost get that sense that spring is around the corner until we saw on the news that there's a huge storm coming our way, another massive snowstorm hitting the Northeast, and we are in southeastern Pennsylvania, and they're saying there could be blizzard-like conditions. We could get anywhere from 7 inches to, I don't know, maybe 14 inches, 15 inches. Who knows? It depends on what model you're looking at. So we are having to kind of shift gears here now and get ready for the storm that could be hitting us. We started off by, of course, going into the cattle pen and making sure that they had plenty of fresh straw down. They're going to be spending a lot more time inside with this heavy snow that's going to be hitting us. So they are quite happy. You can see the complainer and the other new guy, Patches, still being a little distant out in the back field, but that's okay. We'll let them just take their time. In preparation for this big snowstorm that's coming our way, we did want to get the stock trailer squared away and back into the hay barn for storage. We had used the stock trailer when we went to pick up the 2 new cattle, and it's been sitting outside, but it's still covered in a lot of, the brine and salt from the streets during our travels, which we don't want to stay on the outside of the stock trailer because it could corrode the metal and the paint and just cause damage. And we want to be able to have this last as long as possible. So Ryan decided to take out the power washer and give it a good clean down, make it nice and pretty and clean before putting it into the hay barn. So we got that taken care of. And then we wanted to check on our 3 young heifer calves and get them some more hay as well, which they were really excited about. They're always so friendly to begin with. These three, I have to admit, are my favorite because they are so sweet and so friendly. They come right up to you. They love being loved on and pet and all of that good stuff. And they got really excited when they saw us out here with a fresh new bale of hay for them, because we want to make sure they have plenty to eat. Just in case we do get hit hard here with snow, we want to make sure that the cattle are all taken care of and have everything that they need, so that way they're comfortable and they can weather out this storm as well. Next on our list was making sure we were well stocked on some firewood here for our wood burning stoves. When it's cold like this, especially when there's snowstorms on the horizon, we want to make sure that we have plenty of firewood at the house and in the workshop, so that way we can use our wood burning stoves to create heat, because when we're able to use the wood burning stoves, it really cuts down on using propane and electricity. So we try to use our free resources whenever possible, and having this firewood and using the wood burning stove this winter has been a lifesaver. We have used it a ton, and it's just really relaxing and enjoyable to have a fire going to begin with, but then also to be able to cut down on our costs by using some natural resources is just even better. So we love this, and we really encourage anybody, if you can, to get a wood burning stove. And it's just another way to be able to have some sense of security, especially in bad weather or times of disaster. Well, with the cattle all happy and us getting some projects taken care of, I think we've had enough today. So we are going to settle down inside ourselves by our fireplace, check the weather again, and see when this storm is going to hit. But thank you so much for watching. And I hope if you are in one of these regions that's going to be getting hit with a snowstorm, that you please stay safe. Do not try to shovel unless you have to, and get help and take breaks. But stay safe out there, everybody, and we will see you on the next one.